State Minister for Veteran Affairs, Honorable Dr. Huda Abasan Oleru, the Chairperson of the Committee of Chief of Defense and Security.
Honourable members, honourable ministers, throughout history, periods of profound transformation have demanded equally profound leadership. Today, the international system is experiencing one of those defining moments. Strategic competition is reshaping global relations. Armed conflicts continue to generate humanitarian suffering and economic uncertainty. I do wonder that in 1963, at the formation of the OAU, we had less than 100,000 refugees on this continent. Today, we speak of millions, so we've generated more after organizing ourselves. So it's something of great concern. Technological innovation is transforming the character of security at an unprecedented level. Disruptions to global trade, maritime routes, pressures on energy and food systems, and climate change continue to demonstrate that no region remains isolated from developments occurring beyond its borders. You can already see what is happening because of the war in Ukraine, but also the war in the Middle East. East Africa is not immune to these realities. The prosperity of our economies, security of our maritime domain, the resilience of supply chains, and stability of our societies are increasingly influenced by events taking place well beyond our immediate neighborhood. This calls for institutions that are agile, resilient, and capable of anticipating emerging risks before they become crises.
It is with great pleasure and honor that I welcome you to Kampala for the 36th Ordinary Session of the Council of Ministers of Defense and Security of the Eastern Africa Standby Force. Hosting you today reaffirms Uganda's commitment to collective security and African solidarity. On behalf of His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, President of the Republic of Uganda, the government and the people of the Republic of Uganda, I extend our warmest welcome and sincere appreciation for your continued commitment to the ideals of regional cooperation and peace. Your presence here reflects our shared understanding that peace and security are collective responsibilities, and the strength of our region lies in our unity of purpose and our willingness to act together. Honorable Ministers, we convene at a defining moment for peace and security in our region and across the African continent. Eastern Africa remains one of Africa's most strategically important regions, rich in opportunity, resilience, and potential. Yet it also continues to confront a complex and evolving security environment. We face armed conflict, violent extremism, maritime insecurity, cyber threats, humanitarian crises, and the growing impact of climate change on peace and stability. As we speak, these challenges are crossing our borders. Behind them are displaced communities, children out of school, and families whose livelihood are disrupted by insecurity. These realities reaffirm an enduring truth. No member state can effectively address today's security challenges in isolation. Our security is indivisible. Our prosperity is interconnected. Our future depends upon the strength of our regional institutions and the stability of our member states. Honorable colleague ministers, the Eastern Africa Standby Force has evolved into one of African Union's principal instruments for conflict prevention, mediation support, early warning, humanitarian response, and peace support operations under the Africa Peace and Security Architecture. Readiness without resources is rhetoric. Let us match our mandates with money. Honorable Ministers, the decisions we take during this session will shape the future direction of our institution. They will strengthen our collective capacity to prevent conflict, respond to crisis, and promote lasting peace. Most importantly, they will reaffirm our commitment to safeguarding the security, stability, and prosperity of the people of Eastern Africa.
Honorable Ministers, today's meeting represents the culmination of 4 days of intensive consultations and deliberations by the expert working group and the Eastern African Committee of Chiefs of Defense Staff and Security. Over the last 4 days, technical experts from our member states carefully reviewed the implementation of previous Council decisions, considered the Director's Progress Report, examined the regional security situation, deliberated on the proposed establishment of a Committee on Resource Mobilization and Donor Engagement, and the Committee of the Audit and Administrative Affairs. We reviewed the proposed amendments of the EASF service regulations, considered the financial status of the organization, and discussed the strategic direction of the EASF. Those agenda items formed the basis of the experts and chiefs session before reaching the Ministers' Council. Therefore, the Chiefs of Defense Staff and Security thoroughly considered recommendations submitted by the experts working group and have now presented their reports for your consideration. These reports are therefore the product of a comprehensive technical assessment of what we have been doing over the last 20 or so years. They now require your strategic guidance and political direction. Your decisions today, therefore, will determine not only the implementation of these recommendations, but also the future trajectory of the Eastern African Standby Force. Sir, since the last policy organs meeting held in Mogadishu, the Secretariat has continued to implement decisions of the Council with commitment and determination. We have strengthened engagements with member states. We have advanced verification of pledged capabilities. We have enhanced operational readiness through regional training and exercises. We have expanded partnerships with the African Union and other strategic partners. We have strengthened institutional governance through the review of our service regulations and proposed establishment of governance committees. We have also continued implementing the strategic plan 2026-2030 across its 4 strategic pillars, while increasing the visibility of the EASF throughout the region. These achievements are reflected in the Director's report and the implementation status of the Council previous decision. So these achievements demonstrate that EASF continues to mature as a regional institution. Honorable Ministers, the security landscape confronting our region is also challenging rapidly. Terrorism, violent extremism, maritime insecurity, cyber threats, transnational organized crime, humanitarian crisis, and climate-related insecurity continue to test our resilience as member states. Equally significant is the changing architecture of the peace support operations across the continent. The gradual reduction of international support to our activities is evident. And as you can see from AUSOM, as you had earlier had a conference to this effect, there has been reduced support in terms of finance from external donors. And this has definitely affected many organizations. Africa must increasingly prepare to finance, manage, and sustain its own peace support operations.
Our sincere appreciation to the government and the people of Uganda for hosting this important meeting and for the warm hospitality extended to us. Eastern African continues to face a complex and interconnected security environment, including political tensions, violent extremism, transnational organized crimes, humanitarian crisis, irregular migration, cyber threat, the spread of misinformation and disinformation, and the growing impact of climate change continue to test the resilience of our societies and institutions. These interconnected challenges transcend national borders and remind us that lasting peace and security cannot be achieved by individual states acting alone. They require collective action.
My name is Kenneth Albrecht. I'm a senior advisor with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Denmark, seconded since January 2024 to the Eastern Africa Standby Force as the coordinator for the international advisory and coordination staff at its premises. I'm also an advisor on peace, security and stabilization to the director and his leadership and management team. I stand before you today in a dual capacity. One as my primary advisory capacities, that is those Friends of EASF who are permanently embedded advisors and financing to the Eastern Africa Standby Forces, but also as a representative for the chair of the Friends of Eastern Africa Standby Forces, the Colonel Lasse, Danish Defense Attaché in Nairobi. EASF has been the home for many friends across the years, both in Nairobi and for its structures in Addis Ababa. Initially to ensure the milestones of initial and full operational capability, but later to contribute to EASF sustainability and resilience. The continued support by partners has contributed to the achievements for the vision formulated in the start of the millennium in creating a well-functioning and relevant force for peace, security and stability in the Eastern Africa region as an integral part of a continental mechanism that continually has evolved to encompass new challenges. Your Excellencies, now stock-taking some decades later, this mechanism continues to evolve and adapt to meet those challenges, as well as to ensure a standby capacity that's flexible and can assist its member states and the African Union to meet the expectations formulated at the inception of the vision.
My solemn duty and pleasure and honor to declare the 36th Ordinary Session of the Council of Ministers of Defense and Security of the Eastern Africa Standby Force officially closed.